President Trump recently promised to declassify all government records related to record-setting pilot Amelia Earhart. That after a delegate from the Northern Mariana Islands in the Pacific Ocean told Trump that elderly residents had shared credible first-hand accounts of seeing Earhart there. The official U.S. government position is that Earhart's plane crashed into the Pacific after running out of fuel in 1937. Now, after nearly 9 decades, is aviation's greatest mystery about to be solved with an expedition soon to be launched from Purdue University? Mikenzie Frost reports.
This is the famous hangar number 1 at the Purdue University airport.
Purdue University in Indiana has a special link with Amelia Earhart. In the 1930s, the aviator taught here. The college also supported her final expedition. In February of this year, leaders got startling news from a team of international researchers who have spent years looking for Earhart's missing Lockheed Electra twin-engine plane.
The subject line of the email was, "The Electra, we may have found it."
Steve Schultz is Purdue's senior vice president.
The evidence is overwhelming that the castaway hypothesis is supportable.
Record first were no novelty to aviatrix Amelia.
When Amelia Earhart took off to circumnavigate the globe at the equator, she had already shattered glass ceilings and set records. The first woman to fly solo across the Atlantic Ocean. The first woman to fly nonstop across the United States. But in 1937, when she and navigator Fred Noonan did not make it to Howland Island for a refueling stop while crossing the Pacific, it shocked the world.
Whether she and her navigator had been lost at sea.
An exhaustive search turned up nothing. For decades, speculation swirled. Then in 2020, what's known as the Taraya object was noticed on a satellite image for the first time in a lagoon off the small South Pacific island of Nikumaroro.
Since then, Archaeological Legacy Institute has gone back and found other images dating to 2015 when this object in the lagoon of the island first became visible. That happens to coincide with Tropical Cyclone Pam, one of the worst tropical storms in the South Pacific in many decades. So the theory is that the sediment was washed off the plane.
It's not the first time evidence has been found on the island. In fact, there's been a lot found there.
A woman's compact case, a freckle cream jar, parts of a shoe that were of the very type that Amelia Earhart wore.
And even human bones that are a near complete match for Earhart have been found. Just never the big piece of the puzzle, the aircraft itself. So this November, Schultz will be part of a team to visit Nikumaroro to determine if the Taraya object is Amelia Earhart's plane.
There's a lot of evidence that she survived the crash based on the intercepted radio messages that people claim that they have heard from her. If you find the wreckage on this expedition, do you believe that that would prove that theory that she did, in fact, survive?
I do. I think finding the Electra, confirming that the Taraya object is the Electra, is the smoking gun that has always eluded those working on the so-called castaway hypothesis. Sometimes science requires you to confirm a truth, to prove it out, and follow the hypothesis in that way. What we can't do is not go, because then the world will always wonder, what is it in that lagoon that we can see in the satellite imagery?
Also captivated by the mystery, President Trump now promising to release everything the government knows about Earhart's disappearance.
Do you have any idea what the world will see when that happens? What's in the Amelia Earhart files?
I speak for the experts who have spoken publicly on this. They've studied the Nikumaroro hypothesis for years, and they're not aware of any records that remain classified. So on the other hand, those without a top secret clearance wouldn't necessarily have knowledge of any such records.
One theory that's long been speculated about, was she involved in intelligence gathering on the Japanese ahead of World War II?
Do you think that what the president said about declassifying these files kind of adds to the mystery and the intrigue surrounding this?
The world has always been fascinated by her and by the circumstances of her disappearance, and that's absolutely right.
Beyond her mysterious fate, Earhart's larger-than-life presence felt clearly here at Purdue. Madeline Eckberg is a senior studying aviation management.
I mean, she encouraged so many women to go out and do great things just like she had done.
She's also the local chapter chair of the 99s, an association of women working in aviation. Amelia Earhart was the group's first president.
How do you feel about this expedition and this search that is, potentially history making?
I've heard so many theories over the years. It's fantastic that we might finally get some more information and evidence about what happened to her. And maybe just encourage more women, with all of the talk about this expedition.
The nearly century-long mystery of Earhart's disappearance is not the only thing that has endured. So has her legacy of inspiring women.
Amelia Earhart did all of these amazing and wonderful things, but she didn't quite reach her goal, and maybe I can reach mine.
And so say they find this plane and it's hers, what next? Do they look for evidence of her being there?
Well, in 1940, there were bones that were found on this island. At the time, they were thought to be male, but recent analysis done in the last 7 years really indicated that the bones were likely Amelia Earhart's. However, the analysis wasn't of the bones themselves because they actually disappeared. The analysis was of measurements of the bones. So because we don't have any DNA, the mystery of what actually happened to Amelia Earhart may never be solved.
I sure hope that's not the case.
I think a lot of people think that.
Thanks, Mikenzie.